It's pretty cool. You don't have to put the roll behind it or stack behind it. You can put the Rollo on top of this little stand. Welcome to Widget Wednesday. It's a bi-weekly video series I'm doing featuring some kind of subject or some kind of tool that we can use and help your postcard reselling business. Whether you're a seasoned seller or just starting out, these versatile subjects can make a difference in how you showcase and manage your listings on eBay. In this video, we're going to walk through the pros and cons of incorporating a thermal printer into your eBay strategy. A lot of people say, what's a thermal printer? Well, I'm going to walk you through this and talk about thermal printers. And it is a game changer. There's two things in postcard reselling, if you're going to get into it heavily, is the thermal printer for the eBay standard envelope shipping labels that you can put right on an envelope, and a scanner, a duplex scanner. It saves so much productivity. Now, it doesn't mean you have to go out and buy that right away. It's not going to get you any more sales. It just helps you spend less time doing what you like to do. But I wouldn't spend $400 on a scanner and $80 on a thermal printer or $40, whatever you find out there, right away and get all dressed up and have nowhere to go, unless you have the money to do that. I'd rather spend it in postcards and get my listings up a little bit and see if we can get it to a point where it can pay for itself. But I'm going to go through the pros and cons and incorporating a thermal printer in your eBay strategy. So let's dive in and discover how these printers can have an impact on your eBay success. Now, a thermal printer is a type of printer that uses heat to produce images on text and paper. That's why they call it thermal. Unlike traditional inkjet, those HP ones with the little cartridges that cost a huge amount of money, and laser printers that use ink or toner to create prints. Thermal printers rely on heat-sensitive paper and thermal technology. The paper is coated with a heat-sensitive chemical that darkens when exposed to heat, creating an image or text on the label. So those labels you have to buy certain thermal labels. It's not like regular paper. You can't put that on a thermal printer and it'll work. It uses heat. Now, there's different models out there. There's the granddaddy, the expensive one, Rollo, and then there's another one, and then a Zebra. So let's talk about each one of these, and I'll give you a price point on what they cost right now. I just went out and grabbed a snapshot, and Rollo's on sale right now. And I see them go on sale a couple times a year. But the first Rollo is the one I got years ago. My wife and family got it for me for Christmas. They asked me what I wanted. I said, I want a thermal printer. Years ago I've had it. It's never had a problem. It works fine. I've used it on different computers. But it's the USB model. What that means, it's cable. You got to have a cable connected to it. It's not wireless. And it takes, we'll talk about real estate here in a second, but I use the fan fold label. So I've had it for years. It works fine. It's kind of expensive, but I never had a problem with it. Now, they did come out with a dongle that you can put on these to do wireless with, $50 or whatever. But they also made a Rollo that's wireless now. It's come out in the last year or so. I don't need that because my computer is right here on the side of my desk, and underneath it I have these long little shelves on my desk that go down on each side, and I can put the thermal printer under there. But if I needed to put it across the room or on my desk or somewhere else away from my computer, then the wireless dongle or the wireless one would be what you wanted. But so the USB version like I got is $179. That's on sale, and it's usually like $199, $200. The wireless version is $279. That's not on sale. These are Amazon prices. That just gives you an idea about the top one up there a lot of people use. Then during the holidays last year, I picked up a knockoff brand, a different brand than Rollo, and it's called IDPRT. I got mine for like $50 because it was on sale. And I wanted a backup because this one's getting older, and I have it sitting right over here, and I can print to it. It uses Bluetooth to go across from my computer, and it works well. A little slower than a Rollo being wired, but for $50, when the Rollo dies, that'll be the new one. But right now they have a price of $75, and they're usually $135 out there. So $75, you can catch those on sale too. A lot better than a Rollo, and they'll work. And if I got to replace two of those in the time frame at the price of one Rollo. Now, I'm not getting sponsored. There's no sponsors here for this video. I don't get any kickbacks or anything for talking about that. It's just my opinion. Then another one that I've seen out there is the Zebra. This is the 2844. These are workforces. They work in factories and industry and commercial. They're a workhorse. They'll do whatever you want. $124. That's come down in price because I got some newer versions. So you go from, $200 down to $50 for different ones. It depends what you're gonna do. Me, if I was starting off and I don't do a lot, I would probably go with the ID PRT one. There's a lot of knockoffs out there. That one I have a full video review of it. It'll do it from your phone, all this Bluetooth and stuff like that. The Rolos is the Cadillac, works fine, but for what these things do, I would say my recommended starting out is the ID PRT. Now when you go to look for a thermal printer, the required real estate on a desk for a thermal printer depends on the model you purchase and the room. Sometimes they don't. The Zebra, you can put the roll inside, like the Dynamo, you put the roll of labels inside the printer, so if the printer is this big, it only takes that much room. A Rolo, or the ID PRT, is the printer, and then you got to put the labels behind it, either on a roll or fan fold laid out. So you got to depend what you're limited at for size and real estate on your desk or your room. So here's some examples, pictures that I found. So the first one here is the Rolo. This is exactly what I got. And then I have the little tray, but I don't use the roll, I use the fan fold. So it's laying flat. And that takes up room behind the thermal printer. I also, while I was looking at it, I found this. I never saw this before. This is off of Etsy, and it's from ecommercestraighttalk.com. And you can see it in this picture here, the name, ecommercestraighttalk.com. I thought it was pretty cool. You don't have to put the roll behind it or stack behind it. You can put the Rolo on top of this little stand and it'll feed the labels in. You don't have to put it behind it. You can put it there. You can go out to that ecommercestraighttalk.com. I don't get any kickbacks for it. I just found it. I thought it was pretty cool. I never thought of that. So that takes the real estate just up and down. You need the height of putting it there, but you don't need the length. It look neat on a desk. And there was two pictures there to show you the fan fold and the roll. Now the same with the ID PRT one. If you notice, there's no roll inside. You got to put the behind it. You can probably put that on the stand too, the Straight Talk stand. And then here's a picture of a Zebra, probably not the same model I showed you, but you notice it just prints out and the roll's inside there. So real estate is important when you go to buy a thermal printer. But I like that little X stand. If anybody's got one of those, let me know how it works. Send us a picture, or if you get one and stuff. I don't use it because I have the long table, but I thought it was pretty cool. I forgot what it cost. Probably not too much, but it's on Etsy is where I found it. But there's pros and cons to using thermal printers for shipping labels, and they have some advantages and disadvantages. And I'm going to walk through the breakdowns of both real quick. Some of the advantages of using a thermal printer: there's no ink or toner required. Thermal printers use heat-sensitive paper, eliminating the need for ink or toner cartridges. This can save money and reduce the hassle of frequently replacing ink or toner. When I first started, I was using the two 8x11 with two labels on the sheet, and I was printing them out with my inkjet, and I was going through ink like crazy. That's when I decided to go to a thermal printer and stuff. Now I have a laser printer to do my other stuff, and I spent about, I don't know how much money on all the toner cartridges for my brother laser printer, and I haven't replaced that in a year and a half. Haven't done anything. I still got half the toner in there. So I'm saving money using a laser printer. But a thermal printer, I don't even have a DeskJet printer anymore in here. I just buy the labels. Now there is ways to get free labels. If you go out on YouTube and say shipping labels for free, you'll probably find some videos how to do that with different companies that will give you the labels, just like Post Office gives you free boxes. There's some companies that will give you the labels on there. But otherwise, you can get 500 labels for like $15 to $20. So you just decide what you want to do with it. But I like the presentation of the labels that fit right on these 6.5 by 4.5 Aquaswift envelopes, the best envelope. You just put it right on there, and it looks really good with the barcodes. Never had a problem with it. But no ink or toner required, just a label. Cost effective. Over time, thermal printers can be more cost effective than inkjet or laser printer because they only require thermal paper, which is often cheaper than buying an ink or toner, especially. Speed and efficiency, this is the big one. Thermal printers are typically faster than traditional printers, which can be a significant advantage when printing many labels. This can be especially beneficial for high volume eBay sellers. Most bigger sellers at a time have got multiple thermal printers. High quality prints. The thermal printers produce sharp, clear labels, ensuring barcodes are easily scannable by shipping companies. This reduces the chance of errors and delays. Yep, they look fine. Low maintenance. With fewer moving parts and no ink to dry out or clog, thermal printers generally require less maintenance. This makes them more reliable for consistent use. I just use these little eyeglass cleaners I clean my glasses with. I'll rub it on the rollers. It's got alcohol in there, and I do that every couple times a year. Yeah, I've never had a problem. One time I had a label get screwed up in there and it rolled around. I had to pick it apart. I think one time. That's it. Works fine. Space-saving design. Thermal printers are often compact and can fit into smaller workspaces, making them ideal for home offices. Remember this advantages. Durability. Labels printed with thermal printers are more resistant to smudging and fading. They are a little water resistant, not waterproof. So water gets on them, they're not going to smear. I would say waterproof because it's the paper on there. Ensuring that remain legible throughout the shipping process, even if exposed to moisture or rough handling. Yeah, they're pretty durable. I've never had one smear and stuff like that. I can't. There's no ink. It's just the paper. Now there is some cons, some disadvantages of it. The thermal paper cost. While thermal printers save on ink and toner, they require special thermal paper, which can be more expensive than regular paper. And it is. You just got to hunt around. If you get really cheap labels, they might not be as dark and have the cutouts where they stop and stuff like that. So you want to find the right brand. This could offset some of the cost savings, especially for smaller scale sellers. High heat sensitivity. Thermal labels can fade or darken when exposed to heat, light, or certain chemicals over time. They may not be suitable for storage or long-term use, where labels need to remain legible for extended period of times. Keep it out of the sunlight. Have you ever noticed you get a little thing of labels for like your Dynamo or whatever, and they come in a black Ziploc bag or whatever? That's because of light sensitivity. Just the nature of how it works. Initial cost. The upfront cost of a thermal printer can be higher than standard inkjet or laser printers. This can be a consideration for new eBay sellers or those on tight budgets. Yeah, use what you can at first, but always have where you want to be. So right now you might have to use your paper cut it out and tape it to your box. Later on when you start selling more, your next big purchase could be a thermal printer, could be a scanner. You just kind of grow, and that's what I've done over the years. I'm to a point now where I don't really need anything. I had to get another computer. I didn't really need to, but I just seen some things I needed. I needed a faster one for the videos and some other things I was doing. So you just kind of grow and use some of the money to invest back in the business. They're limited to black and white. Most thermal printers only print in black and white, which limits their ability to produce colorful labels or graphics. This may not be ideal for sellers who want to include branding elements in their labels. So black and white, that's shipping label. Compatibility. Not all shipping label sizes can be compatible with thermal printers. Some eBay sellers might find it challenging to find the right label size, especially if they use various carriers with different label requirements. Yeah, the ones I showed you should work with eBay, Poshmark, and stuff like that. I don't sell on those, but I know it works for eBay. And there's settings that you have to do, very easy to set up and do. Some things in eBay, you got to tell it a 6x4, stuff like that, but they pretty well walk you through. Noise. Thermal printers can be noisy compared to other types of printers, which might be a nuisance in quiet home office setting. Yeah, do. Not like a dot matrix printer in the old days, but it is. But it doesn't bother me. I'm the only one down here. So basically, that's thermal printers. For eBay standard envelope and postcards on eBay, it's a game changer. Even when I was doing boxes of toys and action figures and stuff like that, hard goods that I was selling, to rip through those made it so much easier when I got a thermal printer. And it gives a very good presentation because the whole label sticks on the box. You're not handwriting, you're not taping all over the place. It just looks really neat on the thing. This is one that came back a while ago, but that's a label underneath there, and it's been back and forth in the mail, and it's still on there. and stuff. It fits right on these envelopes. But the conclusion, overall, thermal printers are an excellent choice for eBay sellers who prioritize speed, efficiency, and lower operating costs. However, initial investment needs to, for specific thermal paper, and limitations on color printing may be drawbacks to consider depending on the seller's specific needs and shipping volume. That's thermal printers. Now, make sure you're subscribed, hit the little bell icon. These Widget Wednesday videos are going to come out. They're short videos, and they'll come out bi-weekly is what I'm trying to do. So every other Wednesday, you should see a certain topic. If there's any topics you want me to do, I'd love to get new ones that I haven't ever done so I can learn as well as you. Just send them in to contact@SMPostcards.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next Widget Wednesday. Bye.